So it is currently the 5th of January 2018, and here's the news for you, what has been going on my phone and on Twitter today. Let me just get in the first one up on this phone. Ancient human remains document migrations from Asia to America. In Alaska, scientists have uncovered something they say is remarkable. There's someone I know is asking how the first week of their apprenticeship has gone. In Alaska, scientists have uncovered something they say is remarkable. The remains of two infants dating back to more than 11,000 years ago. This discovery is evidence of the earliest wave of migration to the Americas. An archaeologist from the University of Alaska, Ben Potter, says it's incredibly rare, and that they only have a handful of human remains that are as old in the Western Hemisphere. And the findings were published on Wednesday by the journal Nature. The remains are so good that the conditions and genetists were able to extract DNA from one of them. They compared the samples with genes of people around the world and conclude that the ancestors of these infants started out of East Asia around 35,000 years ago. As they travelled east, they became genetically isolated from other Asians, and at some point during the last ice age they crossed from a frozen land bridge from Siberia to Alaska called Bergina. The researchers call the founding populations call that group the founding populations for all Native Americans. David Reich, a genetist at Harvard University who studies ancient DNA, says genetic material like this tells a more detailed story of how people came to America, but not the whole story. He says there were presumably many related populations like this, he says, one of which split from these two lineages that have diversified into Native Americans today. Next one is about John Venables, one of the James Bulger killers. James Bulger killer John Venables charged over indecent images. Yeah, so he was 10 when he and Robert Thompson killed James Bulger. He was recalled to prison last year. So they were released on license in 2001, meaning that they can be called to jail at any time if they breach the conditions. So it's could suggest that he broke one of the conditions. They were released on licence from secure children's homes and granted lifelong anonymity with new identities, meaning that they can be called at any time. In September 2008, he was arrested on suspicion of rape after a drunken brawl. He was given a formal warning by the probation service for breach of good behaviour terms of his licence. Later that same year, he was cautioned for possession of cocaine after he was found with a small amount of Class A drug. And in 2010, he was sent back to jail for 2 years after pleading guilty to charges of downloading and distributing child pornography and breaching his parole conditions by visiting Merseyside, and was released again in 2013 with a second new identity. When the news of the 35-year-old's latest arrest emerged last year, James' mother, Denise Fergus, said Venables has now proved beyond any doubt what a vile, perverted psychopath he has always been. The Attorney General launched an investigation into claims his identity had been revealed on social media. In 2013, 2 men who posted images they claimed were of Venables and Thompson were given 9-month sentences, suspended for 15 months. Breaking the injunction that bans identifying the pair carries a punishment of up to 2 years in prison. The CPS, or known as the Crown Prosecution Service, spokesman said the man formerly known as John Venables has been charged with offences relating to indecent images of children. In order that justice can be done, no further details are being released at this stage, and the proceedings are subject to reporting restrictions. Theresa May wades into royal wedding homelessness row. Theresa May has distanced herself from a Tory council leader who called for rough sleepers to be cleared from Windsor before the royal wedding. The Prime Minister said she disagreed with the comments made by Simon Dudley, who said beggars may show the town in a sadly unfavourable light when Prince Harry marries American actress Meghan Markle in May. He has been slammed for tweets that said that some rough sleepers had made a commercial life choice, praying on residents and tourists. In a letter to police, Mr. Dudley also complained about aggressive begging, intimidation, bags and detritus on the streets, asked about remarks during a visit to the hospital in nearby Camberley. The Prime Minister said, "I do not agree with the comments that the leader of a council has made. I think it is important that councils work hard to ensure that they are providing accommodation for these people who are homeless, and where there are issues of people who are aggressively begging on the streets, then it's important that councils work with police to deal with that aggressive begging." Mr. Dudley's comments have been described as sickening by Murphy James of Windsor Homeless Project, who said it's absolutely abhorrent for anybody who has these views in this day and age, especially a lead councillor in Overborough. I actually agree with Theresa May on something. The final one on this one is coming right up. Which isn't actually anything other than a load of articles saying that some operations have been cancelled. Why are our operations being cancelled? It's not right. Warblaze. The Crown Prosecution's Service says Sir Ken MacDonald and Sir Keir Starmer weren't involved in the Warblaze decision. He was charged with offences against 14 of 83 alleged victims on the basis of sufficient evidence test. 3 other cases didn't go ahead because CPS decided they wouldn't have effective sentence. After the trial, CPS told about another 18 Warblaze complaint, but advised police it wouldn't be in public interest to prosecute other than rape, because the maximum sentence available to court, one file submitted but didn't pass evidence test. It's like in criminal and a lot of cases, like you have to prove that using the evidence you have, to prove that there is sufficient evidence against someone so that it can successfully be tried. But like how you do it is different in criminal and civil. But like as I know that in tort laws, but like the burden of proof hangs on the defendant. Dealer who stabbed Cardiff officer with vicious blade is jailed. Police checks risk pushing children to dark web, officials warn. Any 12-hour waits nearly triple in a year. When registered Jewish schools prompt call for new laws. Bob Spink handed suspended sentence over election fraud. So like a suspended sentence is kind of like you're not, they will have that jail term eventually, but it's like you're not made to do it there and then. But like if you go out and do another crime, so I can get a jail term of that on that crime, the suspended sentence from the previous trial gets added on to that jail term. Arsene Wenger, Arsenal boss gets touchline ban over referee row. He's also been given a fine. The leader of male Freemasons in England has denied claims that they're blocking women and ethnic minorities from progressing in the police force. Let them have a fucking job. Sorry. Let women have a job. Triple killer Theodore Johnson jailed for 26 years. Not just chilling. They're not dead just chilling. The iguanas falling from trees in Florida. People in Florida.
Iguanas are not built for the cold. They'll fall out of trees. They'll end up in areas where cars are, parking lots. You'll see them in a lot of areas where they're cold stunned. If it's just for a day or two, they will just get to where they're completely frozen in time. They're still able to breathe. They're still able to do bodily functions, just very slow. Once it gets, again, above 50 degrees, they'll start to activate and move around. Put them over to the side if you feel comfortable to put them in the sun, or put them off the road so you're not running them over.
There we go. Now I care about animals. Sarah Tyndall, Queen's granddaughter, pregnant with second child. It's finished 1-1 all on the field in Premier League last month. Liverpool and Everton meet again tonight. Jeremiah Regis Nagorja. Murder death could not be predicted. More students found cheating in GCSE and A-level exams. How'd you do? AK-47s and grenades found in North Ockenden building. Manchester Airport detectives sacked for skipping duties. Why were they a detective anyway? So like, they're the most unmotivated person ever. Extra trying to question terrorist suspects. Stephen Fry steps down as BAFTA Film Awards host. High pressure moving into UK from the north will introduce much colder Arctic air to our shores during Saturday and into Sunday. UK car sales fall, questioning over rate of sex offenders while Boris Trump book comes out early. Looks like they didn't manage to stop the book coming out. John Warboy's parole reasoning should be public. UK car sales see first drop in 6 years. And let's go see what's over in world news. Tibet activists are on trial in China. Macron tells Erdogan no chance of Turkey joining the EU. Nice we can kind of come up with good and bad ideas. It's a bit like it'd be easier for. Probably do some good for the national economy, knowing that a Turkish lira is about 20p, something like that. Well, if I can come up with one bad spell, because it would be easier for terrorists from Syria to come over and cause havoc at the moment. Donald Trump's White House aides say he's like a child who needs immediate gratification, according to author of Fire and Fury book. Moldova court suspends president over Russian media bill. Internet confusion. When is Egypt not an African country? So like it's like just in Africa, and it's actually the gateway from Africa into Asia. Heavy snow cuts off alpine ski resorts in Italy and Switzerland. White noise video on YouTube hit by 5 copyright claims. False earthquake warning panics Japan. Syria war. Russian jet damaged in. Sorry if I get this wrong. Memon base attack. Sorry about that. Leverage risk. How will the US move to cut aid affect Pakistan? think at the moment Trump's probably doing a lot more bad than good. Dabbing during a football match upset fans so much they reported him to the authorities. Which, considering, it's like, where was this as the footballer was Saudi? It's like, it doesn't always mean that it's in Saudi Arabia. And it's in Saudi Arabia. However, it's not unusual for people to express their opinions and frustration on social media during a football match. However, a player in Saudi Arabia has stirred controversy online, not for his skills on the pitch, but a movement he made in the technical area. Footage of a professional footballer for Saudi club Al Najum dabbing during a match on 3rd of January has been met with anger from some social media users. The clip shared by Saudi sports broadcaster Dari Plus shows the player using a high five and dabbing instead. The commentator can be heard saying no, 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 though it is not clear if this is a reaction to the player's choice to dab. Dabbing has been the subject of controversy in Saudi Arabia, as it is strictly forbidden by authorities because of its perceived link to drug use. It is not yet known if a player will face legal action over the footage. However, last year a singer was arrested after a video showing him dabbing on stage emerged online. Now, what is dabbing? The movement, which involves a person tucking their head into a crook of their arm, is thought to have originated in the hip-hop scene of Atlanta, Georgia, USA. It has since become a global phenomenon, with notable dabbers including Norwegian royalty, US politicians. The Saudi Interior Ministry's National Commission for Combating Drugs published a poster last year warning people of the dangers of this move on the youth and society. Many condemned the player's move as stupid given the government's position on the issue. The anti-narcotics body is combating this move. You're a professional player, so why are you doing this? One reader's response. Some took the tagging the Saudi authorities in their replies in an apparent attempt to bring the incident to their attention. One user tagged their account to the General Director of Narcotics Control with a comment, "For you, with regards." Some were less troubled by the player's actions. One user wrote, "It's not a big deal. Do you have to complicate everything to do with celebrating or showing happiness? I don't see what you make a big deal out of." North Korea opens a new ski resort amid Olympic optimism. George Weah invites Arsene Wenger to inauguration as president of Liberia. Ridley Scott Kevin Spacey version of film couldn't have been released. Going to unravel the debate over Trump's mental health. No, it is pretty questionable half the time. Indian national accused of sex assault on US flight. not winning in politics, at least we're winning in horses. The Arabian horse and his Palestinian breeder competing in a show bringing in Israelis and Palestinians together. Yeah.
Because always when we walk in the hall, always he like to hit the horses in the roof. He like action, so for me he's a good boy. Me Palestinian, I'm Arabian too. We supposed to take care of the Arabian horses because this is the origin of the Arabian horses. It's about love. We're not lucky, so then we spend all the time, all the train, all for nothing. For me as a Palestinian, if I win, we have a hope. We're not winning in politics, at least we win horses.
Nice. Yeah.
Sometimes he will be crazy, so I hope in the show he's gonna be a little quiet.
He finished the sixth.
First place, still I love my colt, and I have to keep trying to train him more. Probably next show he will do good.
Trump has no credibility, says an author. Dozens queue in Washington for a midnight release of Fire and Fury. Plane crash at Egyptian city of Luxor kills tourists. Whoa. Thai penis whitening raises eyebrows. Heavy snow, sweet spots of China. Aadhaar leak in world's biggest database worries Indians. China offer 10-year visas to high-end talent. The drug carrying drones that reached far from places. Australian bushfire drag dangers laid bare in virtual reality. Meltdown in Spectre, all Mac devices affected, says Apple. North Korea accepts the talks offer. Losing a pregnancy in Iraq changed how I see miscarriage. Cycling's the sport in Colombia at the moment. Trump isn't too happy about the book, and this is probably where I'm going to finish it for today. See you for now.